The greatest wealth transfer in this decade is coming. Why they don't want you to buy long bond TLT. Bulls, it's time to go all in. Next week will be even higher.
Almost every kind of stock is going higher.
Stocks only go up. All-time high is coming soon this year. My Palantir position is now up more than 100% today.
That followed me on Palantir, congrats, we made a lot of money. But I just sold.
My Tesla swing trade is now straight up 38%. All thanks to the Fed's liquidity pump. Those bank reserves are floating in the system, making the sea level rise. Stocks can't go down, especially the FANG stocks and AI stocks.
This is an advertisement that says, come back to the casino. Come back to the casino. It's mesmerizing. It's hallucinating. It works.
Might as well hold it with my diamond hands. Because of Jay Powell just said. Talking about a couple of years out for rate cuts. Maybe 2030 we will do some rate cuts then. Ha 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 ha. Who knows how much higher my Palantir stock will go up by then? Why the greatest wealth transfer in this decade is coming. Why they don't want you to buy long bond TLT. I will explain it all right after this.
How you like that? How you like that? Nah, look at you, now look at me. Look at you.
Welcome back to the Audacious Money Witch channel, where we talk about macroeconomy, stocks, bonds, and commodity markets. If you like any of these topics, you are intelligent. That's why you're here. And you know what to do, and push my button if you like what you see in today's video, because you're already a success. It is done when you join the Audacious Money Witch Club. This video is brought to you by my website. If you are a good boy, go to audaciousmoneywitch.square.site to add more meaning into your life. If you play your cards right and completely submit like my good boys do, then I will take you under my wing. Author of best-selling books, Goddess Cheryl. My good boys always get rewarded handsomely. You are such a good boy. You like hearing that, don't you? You want to get into the bookstore. You want it to be real. You want it to be true. You want to join the Audacious Money Witch Club, don't you? There is no such thing as a hawkish pause. That's just PR driver. If you're hawkish, act hawkish. Dots on a plot mean nothing, especially when you then come out 30 minutes later and say you have no idea where rates will be and have no confidence in the rate forecasts. By skipping, they try to avoid more bank stress, as things are actually much shakier under the surface than they would have ever admitted. And the hawkish statement is trying to preserve credibility. It was a political exercise with absolutely zero commitment to actually act on it. Jerome Powell said the Fed's forecasts have been wrong on inflation the past 2 years. Now he's saying rate cuts aren't going to happen for another couple years? What? Can we really depend on these projections anymore? Elon Musk said no. Powell is wrong. As long as the Fed has to do the dual mandate, max employment and price stability, they will always support market with liquidity. However, this time they don't want you to buy long bond like TLT for 2 reasons. The first reason is they don't want you to prepare for what's to come. What's coming, Audacious, you ask? Well, it is obvious. It's recession, deflation, because some say next month's CPI number that will be the shocker. According to Glub, the June number, which will be released on July 12th, will print at 3.2%. Should this play out as expected, this would represent one of the greatest drops experienced in a 2-month period over the past 70 years. Historically, similar declines have only occurred during periods of economic upheaval, such as the onset of 2020 lockdown, the Great Recession, and in 1975 during the Great Inflation. After the prior week's surprise surge in initial jobless claims to the highest since October 2021, last week was expected to see a modest slowdown from 261,000 to 245,000. However, things remain troublesome with 262,000. Americans filing for unemployment benefits for the first time last week, the same as an upwardly revised 262,000 the week before. When recession comes, the Fed has to drop rates because the CPI will go below 2%, which there will be no need for the high rate to stay. On the other hand, unemployment rate will be much higher than 5%, in which the Fed needs to help the situation due to their mandates. The second reason why they don't want you to touch TLT is because they want to wipe out more regional banks. We know those regional banks are holding a lot of underwater long bonds that they bought in 2021. They can't sell them now because they will lose a ton of money on capital loss. The Fed don't want these regional banks to survive because they want to introduce you to the CBDC, central bank digital currency, which will be controlled solely by the Fed. San Francisco is imploding before our very eyes in ways that are both terrifying, memorable, wholly different each and every day. First, it was commercial real estate at 30%. The city has the highest office vacancy rate in the US. And amid existential crisis for the city's tech-focused tenants, finds that it can't even sell office skyscrapers at a fire sale price of 80% off the purchase price, and even in the best case, a 71% discount is as good as it gets. It got worse as we detailed in There's Poop Everywhere. San Francisco's office district, not only a ghost town, it's also covered in shit.
Whoa, oh no, son of a bitch!
Of course, it's not just commercial real estate. Residential is just as bad, with home prices in San Fran now tumbling double digits year over year. And just that other disaster, Seattle seeing home prices plunge faster. But while we expect the implosion in residential housing prices to accelerate, it's really CRE where the ticking neutron bomb is to be found. And according to the latest horror story out of San Fran's commercial real estate market, the owner of two of San Francisco's biggest hotels, Hilton San Francisco Union Square and Park 55, has stopped mortgage payments and plans to give up the two properties. The 1,921-room Hilton is the city's largest hotel, and the 1,024-room Park 55 is the fourth largest, and together they account for around 9% of the city's hotel stock. The hotels could potentially be taken over by lenders or sold to a new group as part of the foreclosure process, although it is unclear who would want to put even $1 of equity into property that will be more likely redefault within a few years. Most of these commercial real estate loans are held by regional banks. Do you see how the domino is being set up here? That's why the Fed don't want to cut rates. They want to make those real estate loans worthless so that short sellers can sell those regional bank stocks down to pennies, and they can't raise money because the credit are tightening. As the bank run happens, those regional banks will be ran over like Silicon Valley Bank. The Fed wants to own everything. JP Morgan will pick up everything, pennies on the dollar. The Fed can tell you, you are not allowed to buy steak again this week. It's too much carbon. That's their goal. They already told you, you will own nothing and you will be happy. That's why they want to own it all. That's how the domino is set up to be the greatest wealth transfer in this decade. The huge outperformance of AI stocks is obscuring the increasingly recessionary message coming from an indicator based on cyclical stocks inspired by investor Stan Druckenmiller. AI ebullience is supercharging the market, but this is masking the increasingly voluble message from cyclical stocks. Druckenmiller once said, "The inside of the stock market is the best economist I know." Based on previous comments he has made, we can build a Druckenmiller indicator of highly cyclical sectors such as housing, autos, and retail. This indicator has been turning down and is closing in on a zone that has previously preceded a recession. The Druckenmiller indicator is not standalone given it has had false positives in the past. Instead, it should be used with a broad range of recession indicators, as encapsulated by the recession gauge. Both have back to all-time high even though they were in a recession. There will be an event happens after S&P 500 reaches all-time high. I think by then people will be complacent enough to not have hedged or lost most of their hedges like Jeremy, who holds SDOW or SQQQ. Those positions will be worthless by then. Some might have just sold their position because they've reached their max pain. Hedges will lose you money, especially the premiums. You can never get that money back. Warren Buffett said, rule number 1, never lose money. Well, for the ones who hedge like Jeremy, they already lost a lot on their hedges. Anyways, there will be a global deflationary event. TLT will pop. It will happen when no one expects it. Just remember, don't sell. Buy. My book, Treasures Within Our Heart. You are such a good boy for watching my video right till the end. Bye.